I've been through some bad heartbreak, dude, and with Valentine's Day coming up, it got me to thinking, like, what would I tell my younger self, like early or mid-20s, about breakups in general? Well, I have 3 important things that I want to share with you, and I hope that what I say today is going to help someone going through it, because I totally get how painful it could be. So let's get right into it. Sometimes love isn't enough, unfortunately. Love is subjective, right? It's different for everyone. And no matter how much you love someone and how much time and energy you put into a relationship, sometimes that's just not enough. Like, you can love someone so much in your own way, and it might not even be the way that they want to be loved. Or they might just need a different kind of love than the love that you're giving them. And that's just incompatibility, right? But I'm here to tell you that relationships, yeah, they're hard, but I think in the sense that you have to adapt your life to be with this other person. For example, like right now, I am single, and in my head, I could do whatever I want, when I want, and I don't have to tell anyone. But when you're in a relationship, things are different because you now have to take the other person into consideration. And sometimes people aren't willing to do that, and that's okay. It might not be your fault, it might not be their fault. But if both people aren't willing to work at things and make the relationship work, then you gotta go. Like, relationships should be fun, enjoyable, and should build you up, not tear you down. And you deserve more than that, boo. Number 2, grieve properly to heal. The grief you go through after a breakup is a reflection of the love that you have for the other person. And that was a feeling that I wasn't allowing myself to feel. When you're with someone for so long, you spend a lot of time with them, you grow with them, and you're sharing the deepest parts of yourself with this person. And when you do that, you inevitably start imagining a future with them. So when a breakup happens suddenly, that future is then taken away from you. And not only are you left to grieve the other person, you're also grieving the future that you had planned out with them. And at the same time, you're also grieving the version of yourself that you shared with them. And that's a lot of grieving to do. And then you got people saying, time heals all. And dude, that's like the most cliche thing you could say to someone going through some shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I believe that to some extent. But I think the more important thing to consider is what you're doing with that time that ultimately then leads to healing. Like, I think ultimately the lesson is not to forget the other person completely because they were such a huge part of your life at one point. I think instead the lesson would be how you remember this person and embrace what you had and kind of figure out what the relationship taught you. And I get it, if it was a toxic relationship, it'll be like super hard to find a good reason or like figure out what it actually taught you because it was such a bad experience. But I think in that case then, maybe the lesson is that you need to bump up your standards and not settle for any less than that. I don't know. It's different for everyone, but I think if you look close enough, long enough, I think you'll find a silver lining somewhere. And number 3, this is an opportunity for you to build a new life for yourself. You could spend all your time asking why. Like, why did they break up with me? Why is this happening to me? Why is my life always like this? But all of these why questions don't change the fact that it is what it is and it happened. You can think about all the things that should have and could have been. You could literally do that forever if you really wanted to. And sometimes you never get the closure that you need. No one wants to know that the time, the energy, and all the love they put into something or someone went to waste, right? But this is your opportunity to then use these resources and put that love into building a new life for yourself. Like, you have to ask yourself, what are some things that I've always wanted to do but never got around to? Or who have I not talked to in a while that I genuinely miss? For me personally, when I was able to redirect the anger and the sadness that I was feeling from the breakup, turned it into love for myself and for the relationships that surrounded me, that's honestly when I started healing for real. And this is like coming from a wholesome point of view, right? Not to make anyone jealous. That's not the intention. The intention is to really make sure that you are happy with yourself. And it's giving you at least a fighting chance to grow into the person that you've always wanted to be. And once you're able to do this for yourself, once you're able to give yourself that love, that consistency, that stability, you'll be so surprised by how much you don't need anyone else. And that's on self-love right there. And someday you'll look back and you'll be so happy that things didn't work out the way that you thought you wanted. And I honestly can't wait for you to get there. So I hope that what I said today helped you in some way. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below. And I'd be interested to see what you guys think of the new format. I just wanted to try something new and I hope you liked it. I'm sending you all my love and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!